Tea is a drink which is familiar and treasured by many. Tea connoisseurs, however, can be very particular about how their tea is prepared, specifically the temperature at which it is brewed. Sources focus on effects such as the level of oxygen in the water on tea and how that affects the taste. In this experiment, we will be investigating the effects of temperature on tea steeping and subsequently what the best temperature to steep your tea at is.
The largest group of compounds found in tea are polyphenols, which give tea its flavor. Phenols are rings of carbon atoms with alternating single and double bonds, and with at least one hydroxyl group, OH, coming off the ring. And polyphenols are compounds with several of those rings bonded together. Examples of polyphenols specifically black tea contains include tannins, catechins, and flavonoids. Also, black tea is fully oxidized and gets much of its flavor from these oxidized tea leaves. More caffeine and phenolics are extracted at higher temperatures, so a colder brew will yield a less bitter tea. Our water can't be hotter than 100 degrees Celsius, as that is when water changes states from liquid to gas. Hot water increases the rate of diffusion and allows more tea to spread throughout the water. It also brings out the flavor of the tea by dissolving the tannins. Tea brewed with cold water thus tends to lack color, flavor, and aroma.
Our hypothesis is that tea will taste strongest when brewed at a higher temperature, making the best temperature to steep your tea at just under 100 degrees Celsius. Everything from the tea being loose or bagged to brewing time can affect the taste. However, in this experiment we focused only on the steeping time of the tea and the temperature of the water. Therefore, we used identical mugs and the same type of bagged tea. We steeped the tea in half of the mugs for 3 minutes and the other half for 4 to see if time would make a difference. We stirred each mug for 30 seconds and allowed each to cool for 4 minutes so that the only difference between the mugs other than the time would be the temperature at which the tea was steeped.
After steeping the tea for the allotted time at the temperatures of 70, 80, and 90 degrees Celsius, each cup was tasted and given a rank out of 10.
At 90 degrees, the tea scored a 6 out of 10 for 4 minutes and a 7 out of 10 for 3. It was incredibly strong and bitter, and consequently, the 80-degree tea, which was also quite strong in taste but not overly so, scored a 9 out of 10 and an 8 out of 10. The 70-degree tea only scored a 4 out of 10 for both cups, as it was not that flavorful. This leads us to conclude that the most strongly flavored and bitter tea was the 90-degree tea, the highest temperature. However, that's not necessarily a pleasant taste, and therefore not necessarily the temperature you want your tea brewed at.
In the end, while a higher temperature made the tea very strong, it was too bitter to properly enjoy. A colder temperature was not enough, making the best temperature at which to brew your tea 80 degrees Celsius. Thanks for watching!